ESPN Analytics has the Bears' projected win total at 8.5. Chicago has a 42% chance to make the playoffs in that division. Wow. It ranks 8th in the NFC. 7 teams, by the way, make the playoffs, meaning that the Bears would be the first team out. But I can tell you the greatest thing you can tell a fan base is hope. And with that, it's been a while since the Bears fan base has felt really good about this. So now they get the #1 pick in-house, and that is Caleb Williams. What are you hearing about his adjustment here from a star in the college game to now getting ready for the pro level?
Yeah, Kevin, I'm told that Caleb Williams used OTAs and minicamp for what it's for, to see what he can get away with. He used that big arm to see where he could squeeze a pass in between 2 defensive backs in coverage. So he was open to making mistakes, knowing that it's going to pay off in August and September. But I was told his arm strength was apparent, and he largely got away with a lot of those throws. He was able to squeeze it in there. I also talked to his quarterbacks coach, Will Hewlett, who prepped him for the draft. He said that Williams has really taken to the run-based play-action offense. Ever since late March, early April, he was prepping for that for Chicago with what he's going to have to do with the footwork and the handoffs. He said he knows that's going to protect him long-term. Okay, when you look at the situation that Williams is entering here, Lewis, no other quarterback has entered, #1 overall, has entered a better situation when it comes to weapons and options. What are the realistic expectations here for Williams and the Bears in Season 1?
Look, I think this is a football team that can make drastic improvements. Look, I think the NFC North will be one of the most competitive divisions in all of football, considering the young offensive firepower that exists with all these football teams and the amount of attention that's going to be paid to the quarterback position first and foremost. Could this be a team that rises up and surprises people? Yeah, it could, because, you know, person for person, when you're looking at it on a piece of paper or on a computer screen, they have weapons that can match up with anybody, specifically offensively, and they have an offensive line that is very underrated. The key is this: the relationship between Caleb and Shane Waldron, the new offensive coordinator. Can Shane allow Caleb to control things on the football field to the degree where Caleb is able to consistently make good decisions, not turn the football over, not to put the ball in harm's way, not turn every play into the ad-lib play, which he knows he is spectacular at, and he knows that he can't get away with in the NFL, so much so to the point where they're able to score enough points, ride that defense, ride the running game, and continue to compete with the likes of Detroit and Minnesota and Green Bay, who are going to be darn good. So could they rise up and surprise people? Of course they could. Because 1 through 53, they're as good as any team in their division. They really are when you look at it, okay, on paper. But we know the games aren't played on paper. That's what makes the North, I think, the division to watch this year. Young quarterbacks, you know, lots of offensive firepower, young perimeter players all over the place. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, and I love your point, Lewis. It's not played on paper, but on the grass, this Chicago Bears team, specifically their defense, they showed up at the end of last season. And why was it at the end of last season? Well, remember, early in the year, their defensive coordinator had to leave. He left the team. He was fired. There were some issues going on. So all of a sudden, Matt Eberflus, the head coach, started calling defensive plays. There are also some injuries throughout the middle of the season. But now, not only are they healthy, not only have they have another year in this defense, but they've added some weapons. They went and got Kevin Byard, who in his career has 28 interceptions. That's top 3 since he got into the league. They re-signed Jalen Johnson, one of the top corners in the league. Tremaine Edmonds, back healthy. Montez Sweat, still on that defensive line. So that defense can carry this team. For me, the limiting factor or limiting reactant is going to be Caleb Williams. What can he do? How quickly can he learn and adjust and adapt? Not just to his defense when he plays in practice and OTAs and training camp and minicamp, when it comes to real games, live action. That's going to be the key for this team.
Right now we're discussing, because we're still over 2 months away, stuff on paper. I could say this on paper. Keep in mind, the Bears have the easiest schedule out the gate in the first 10 games. They don't play a division opponent till week 11. That is a big deal.